Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to get on this live here and talk about really just accepting the prophecy, accepting your heart's desire, but know you're being pulled to something greater than yourself. And all of what's being mirrored back to us is what is getting us to really accept ourselves, is to have accountability, is to know with great power comes great responsibility, and really coming into your own and really immersing yourself into the preferred timelines of enlightenment, really within a sacred timeline, within the generation of energy, within accumulating your spiritual mass, allowing yourself to attract the life of your own design. So when you allow yourself to attract the life of your own design, you're allowing yourself to accept that you are a prophet that has come onto this earth, that is allowing you to show and demonstrate the wisdom, but going through your own reflections and your integrations and your own path and your own awakening. So we are here to kind of rattle the cages. We are here to break some rules, but we're also here to align to our current vibration. And we're really allowing ourselves to find out who we really are and how our energy can change the world with our love, with our grace, with our dignity, but also the integrity that we carry with us, and being able to carry that into a grounded form so that people are able to intellectualize it, understand it, but also adapt it to their own lives. So we're redesigning the structure within our life and what we attract within our lives. So understanding this is that we all are attracting something, a manifestation, love, more peace, more embodiment, more of an alignment, more of a generation of energy, and culminating that in that encapsulation of that energy. So allowing yourself to follow the design of your life, the new found consciousness, the new found path, it allows you to go through your maturation of the soul, but it allows you to gather your will and go through maturation of the soul when you are garnering your reflections, your lessons, the dark night of the soul, or just going through the integration periods, but seeing it in your own peak moments and seeing how your peak moments really reflect back to you of what you're doing and knowing that you're on the path, meaning more structure, more family life. And I don't mean like blood related family, I mean soul tribe, I mean manifesting more money into your life, or seeing how your life has gotten so much better from the standpoint of who you used to be. So I always said on my lives, we're always purifying where we're coming from instead of where we're going. And the reason for that is that we're purifying where we're coming from instead of where we're going is because where we're going has already been there. We've already achieved it or accepted it or immersed ourselves within that. So it's already happened. That means we're simultaneous. It means past, future, and present is already realized and already here and already aware. So it's the ability to open up to that newfound reality and that newfound consciousness and that newfound state of purification and understanding that everything is for our highest benefit. Whatever we experience, no matter if it is a challenge, no matter if it is loss, no matter if it is trauma, no matter if it is immense suffering or whatever we experience, it's for our highest benefit so that it allows us to understand what we need to experience in order to become the person that we're supposed to become. Aligning with our higher self's desires, allowing our desires to be pure, but also allowing our intentions to be exactly what we want, instead of basing it off of our needs. But seeing that the power within us, the power vested in us, the power that is here and presently aware is the same power that you've always been. It means that you've always been this power, you've always known this power, but now you're just using it in the right places and you're finding out those little puzzle pieces and just finding your placements of energy. It means we have released so much energy and subtracted so much energy, which has allowed us to add more within our space, changing our direction, our experience, our causes and effects, but also it allows us to follow the prophecy laid before us, using our gifts, or having a business that is better than your 9 to 5, or really doing another job that is more in alignment with what you want to do in your life. So being of service is sometimes being a really good mom. Sometimes being of service is trying to use your gifts as a way of teaching and demonstration, but also allowing people to feel like they're not alone. Giving that love, imparting that love, and just showing up to your life as if you're meant to be there, meaning as if your life depended on it. You just allow yourself to be and show up to your life as if you're just meant to be at that place and at that time presently. So it doesn't matter where you go in your life. It only matters if you're fulfilled by that awakening, if you're fulfilled in the place that you're at right now. Meaning if there's no fulfillment, then that means that there's a pattern or something that has not been severed or something that has not been released. So when there is complete fulfillment where you're at right now, it invites more within your space. It means that you're aligning to everything that is a representation of your divine expression and your preferences. We all have preferences, we all have expectations, but the expectations kind of dwindle. It means that you're not putting so much on everybody else and so much on source. It means you're taking the weight off. It means you're not putting a limitation on it, and you're not putting a false expectation on it. So there is faith and conviction and structure within your life. And also you just feel more in tune with yourself, in tune with the universe. And it also means that you're not afraid anymore. Meaning that the things that maybe you hesitated or you didn't want to make that choice, or making that choice at that time seemed like it would have been a tough choice to make. But now, more fluently and more in a way that feels like it makes sense, you kind of go with the flow of energy. It means that it doesn't allow you to stop at all. So when you're in a constant flow of energy, and you're in a constant flow of reception, and you're in that constant state of progression, and you're in that constant state of migration, that means that you just accelerate, but it doesn't feel like you're going too fast where it worries you. Does that make sense? But it means that things are firing off all cylinders, and it means that you're aligning to the signs and the confirmations that are directing you on your path, meaning that you quit this job and then suddenly this job opening came up to you and you accepted the offer and it seemed very good. It seemed like the money was good. And then you had a similar reality, but it was much different because it brought you more joy and excitement to where you didn't have to look for the excitement itself. So when we don't have to look for the excitement anymore, that means we're using our prophetic abilities to prophesy what we want, to see that we are the architects of our lives, and we can literally be a decorator of our own existence, meaning that you would not set up your living room in a very messy and degrading way, meaning that you would set your TV stand, your TV, your paintings, your couches in a way that fit completely in your vibration. Vibration is exceptional. Vibration is expression. And the art of not caring anymore is the very fact that you're always going to get what you want at the end of the day. You're always going to receive what you need. You're always going to tap into the energy of the future presence. So you're always going to align to what gives you that most beneficial movement in that direction, so that you're able to really align to the truth of it and not the illusion of it. Meaning that we're all creating an illusion within ourselves and also an illusion outside of ourselves. But if we're able to bring the non-physical and the physical present moment back to itself, that means we can change how the illusion is experienced, meaning that there's a complete recalibration of how we experience life. So therefore, now you're connected. Now you're interwoven. That means that the parallel timelines are not so far away from you, but every timeline is now parallel. And if you allow yourself to tap into those parallel timelines and use the energy of those parallel timelines and be able to manipulate your reality into your own design, this is where you change the way that you deliberately create, not in a forceful way. So when I say deliberately create, it doesn't mean that you're forcing your manifestations or you're forcing your job, but you're having complete allowance towards everything and how God orchestrates everything, and the obedience that overwhelms your presence, meaning that you always have a conviction within the obedience of Source and how Source directs you. And nothing can sway you, and nothing can change how you feel at that exact moment, and nothing can distort the present energy, meaning that you always stay true to it, you always have a backbone towards it, you always have this strength and continuity that no matter what happens in your life, that you're going to maintain that beautiful state. No matter if it's a challenge, a lesson, or a reflection, or releasing darkness. No matter what you experience, you allow yourself to maintain it. It's all about maintenance. We allow ourselves every single day. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect and emotionless, because that's not what God wants us to be anyway. I was thinking about this earlier. Source doesn't want us to be emotionless. They want us to see how emotions can improve our lives, how sense perceptions can truly improve our lives if we disassociate from them. If we allow ourselves to use our thoughts in a very positive way, in a very empowering way, then it changes how we feel inside of our body. Then our mind and our body has no other choice but to accept the Spirit, because then the Spirit is actually leading you down the road of prophecy, of laying before it and accepting it and foregoing the prophecy, no matter where it takes you. It means that you have this ability to just roll the dice, no matter what happens in your life. You always take a chance on something because you don't see any risk or consequence involved in it. And when I say consequence, don't kind of misconstrue that. I'm not saying do things in a reckless way. But I'm saying, like, if you felt like there was hesitation or doubt towards the chances that you take, you'll never take any chances in your life. Meaning you'll always kind of cave back into what you are already doing. Meaning that when opportunities are presented to us, they are presented to us so that we can accept them courageously. And we have to see what it's like, or we'll never really know. Meaning that one choice, one decision, and one action can really reinforce how your life goes. So I believe in something called emotional guidance system, meaning movement, action, and direction. I believe in that because you have to give it some form of meaning, but you don't have to give it so much meaning. But it means something to you. But it has to be your Mona Lisa. It has to be, you have to be the author of your life. You have to write your story. A lot of us think our stories are set in stone. But when we awaken, we see that that's a complete lie. It means we have a fresh start. Every day you have a fresh start. That's the beauty of meditation and healing and integration, because you have the ability to do it all over again. Meaning that you can literally change the narrative and the theme in that moment. And it doesn't have to be adopted by indoctrination, meaning that you don't have to align that way. You don't have to tap into the energy of the world. You can literally be a force field that the world changes around. The world can revolve around you, not in an egoic way, but your non-physical and your physical makes the world have no choice but to create and collapse and to build around what you are doing as energy. So you're giving it no choice. So you're kind of putting it on everybody else to kind of catch up. So it's not in an egoic way. A lot of people will think this is very egoic, but it's actually not. It's actually the most empowering thing that you can do. You're like, and sometimes it's just giving yourself to alignment, giving yourself that direction, that faith, and that courage of just giving yourself to God in that moment, in the most purest way, in the most rawest way. Just allow yourself to give yourself to something that's greater than yourself, serve something greater than yourself, and put yourself just aside for a second, meaning your ego. Just put yourself aside for a second and see how that is not benefiting you. But there has to be a balance, and I'm not saying to do that imbalancedly, because then that's toxic seeking and toxic service, and then you have the ability to kind of go back and forth. But a healthy source of giving and receiving is the ability to enjoy life and to know that whatever you lost in the fire, whatever you lost in your life, doesn't mean that you have to be the person that lost something, because you actually gain something every time you lose something, every time you subtract something out of yourself, every time that you go through something, a challenge, something that tests the waters, that pushes you into uncharted waters, that sometimes puts you in a direction that you're not used to, because familiarity doesn't allow the unknown to come into your life. And the unknown is the only thing that really sets you free and that really paves a way and a path for you. And it's very empowering. A lot of it, even in the beginning, I didn't feel like it was empowering to feel like that and to not have all the answers. And I still don't have all the answers. But it's not about getting all the answers, because if you did, it would take all the zest out of the adventure. If you were given all the keys to the castles, your cars, your finances, your wisdom, your grace, it would take all the zest out of the adventure of finally capturing it. So our dreams are not far away from us. Glory is not far away from us. We feel like it's very far away from us, but it's actually not. It means that we have the ability to tap into that glory. We have the ability to accumulate that glory. And we have the ability to look for the answers that we needed at this moment in time. So it doesn't take away from the zest of the future, of the adventure, of accumulating that grace. So don't be in such a rush. You get a new life. You get a new step. You get a new way of being. And that was the whole point of this message, is don't rush. Take your time. It's about quality. It's not about quantity. We feel like in meditation, a lot of the times, that we feel like it's always quantity over quality. That's actually not the case. So quality is what you want. That's what you want to reinforce. You want to do a good job. You don't want to half-ass it. You don't want to rush it. And then you look at your work and it's kind of not finished, right? So just finish strong. And I don't care if it takes you, a year or a couple or maybe 10 or 20. But you will look back on even this message, or maybe a message that you heard from a friend, and you'll be glad that you had the patience and you had the way of hearing, the way of listening, to not force the quickness of it, but have the allowance of the reception. We have to receive first before we're ready for the things that we really want to do. So just always receive, always tap into that oneness, always be aware of it, always be that example for others, always demonstrate that grace, and always demonstrate the power. The power is yours. It's all about how you choose to use it. And this message is for myself, but also it's for a lot of other people. So I'm not just like talking at you. I'm talking to you. So there's a difference. So don't forget who you are. Don't forget yourself. Don't forget what you want. What you want sometimes is the same thing as what you need. Your wants and your needs, your desires, your inspirations, your aspirations, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, they're all the same thing. It all boils down how you want to channel that energy into existence. Give life to that existence. Give the fresh air to that existence. And it will get everything that it needs, because you're giving it a chance to exist. Everything that has ever existed, everything that's ever happened, everything that has ever been channeled into existence has happened because the light of awareness, the light of appearance, the light of source, the heart of God, the oracle of love, light, and wisdom manifested in human form. Everything has already happened and existed that's simultaneous. So we feel like, oh, I'm going to try this pizza place. We were talking about it at the UPS store. And what was funny is that this pizza place was called Slice of Life. I will never know what the slice of life is if I don't try it. And if I even think that I've never tried it, then there could be another version of myself that has already done it. So that's something that you have to look at too. So another version of me has already had the slice of life. And you can use this as a metaphor as well, because it's a perfect way to look at your life. So there's a movie called Braveheart, and it says every man dies, but not every man lives. So choose to live, and choose to live in the hearts and minds and be a beacon of light to everybody, because that allows you to maintain that awareness, allows you to be true in what you do, and allows you to see everybody as that. See everybody as that purification, to see everybody as that love, and give it endlessly, because We have already been given all that love within our life. You have been given love. We have been receiving grace. We have been given freedom. We just don't think that or act in that way or feel like it's a real thing. But make it a real thing. It's kind of like faking it until you make it. I think that is. I don't even know what I was trying to say. It's funny, a person who talks a lot on lives. Faking it until you make it. Make it as real as you can. It has to be your creation. It has to be what you want to demonstrate, what you want to do. And we're about to do a meditation to kind of reinforce that, but also make it tangible for you. So at the end of the day, if you didn't receive anything from this message before we do this meditation, be yourself authentically. Do not give a fuck how you are perceived, how you look, how you are, but knowing that the truth and the light of Source is being channeled through you, and whatever comes from your direct experience is going to be of a blessing, of grace and understanding. If you demonstrate that and you summon that and you own yourself and you own who you are in that moment, nobody can fuck with it, not even yourself. Nobody can mess with it, not society, not even Source, because Source understands that you're becoming Source in human form. You have to get to the point where you just don't care about limitation, expectations, belief systems, false emotions, false self of ego, and infiltration of not attuning to your own thoughts and vibration. And you have to learn the art of not caring too, because now you don't care. It doesn't mean that you're not caring. It doesn't mean that you don't love or demonstrate that. But it just means that you don't care about the other BS that's in life, the other stuff. But live your life. Life is meant to be lived, and we're supposed to have the slice of life. And if we give ourselves that slice of life, then there's nothing that we have to attune to because we already have it. And yes, there's upgrades. Yes, there's changing. Yes, there's releasing. But if you just accept that you have the slice of life and that you're happy with it and you're content with it, then all the things that do come in your life will already automatically be there. So this is White Wolf. If you've never been here before, I do meditation, spirituality, and also around 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm going to do readings tonight, but also you guys can book private sessions. I do have a $50 special for our sessions. So we're going to do a meditation to kind of reinforce this entire message so that it kind of sinks in and it's wrapped in a beautiful bow, but also just allow it to be a gift and just allow it to be something that allows you to recalibrate everything in your life. If you feel like there's imbalances, or if you feel like there's a lack of structure, or if you feel like there's something just not in vibrational alignment, allow yourself to use this meditation as a gateway. So allow this meditation to see yourself as a force field, to see yourself as a living, breathing vortex, to see yourself as a completely different realm, the hidden realms, the gateways, the emulation of source energy, but also a way to just transport yourself into that absolute reality. And just feel in this moment that nothing can change the way you feel. It doesn't faze you. When a challenge is presented, it doesn't trigger you. You look at it, you observe it, you're aware of it, but you coast. You flow with your energy. You flow with life. You're not worried about it. You're not complaining about it. You're not frustrated about it, but you're allowing yourself to find the meaning and transcendent reason to pick your thoughts and emotions, to see that you have the choice to pick your thoughts and emotions that correlate with themselves, that actually align to themselves, that give you direction, that give you fluctuation, that give you that sense of understanding, but also it gives you a sense of living in your own truth and not swaying from it, and always having that backbone to go against the grain and to be very edgy and to make the aligned choice of freedom. Attuning to your freedom, knowing that it is given to you. But give yourself permission slip to be free in that moment. And it doesn't matter what the concept is. I can list many different concepts, like winning a car, winning the lottery, having that new job that you've really been wanting, or having children because you've always wanted it. No matter what the concept is, it is energy. And no matter what, it won't stop you from immersing yourself within that and achieving your goals and your vibration and your understanding of who you are. Meaning that you've already done it, simultaneously you're experiencing it. You're already in the visualization of it. You're already in the adaptation of the experience of it. Meaning that you're manifesting the illusion directly here and now. And meaning that the illusion is not so far away from you, and it's not so vast, and it's not something out of your reach, but it's something very crystal clear, and it's something that you just step into, and you feel that Shekinah glory, no matter what goes on in your life. You feel the glory of source energy moving through you. And this is just a way to recalibrate your life, to change your life in that moment, but to change, to really transform, so that you can really reach your peak moments. And then the valleys don't have to be so bad. And just even think about the statement that I just said. If you give it a negative connotation, you give it a negative thought, you give it a false projection, a false pretense, then you've already predicted your future and prophesied in a negative way. But if you change that and prophesy in a more positive light, then that's how it changes your life and direction. It's the ability to be aware, to dial in, no matter what presents itself to you. So it gets to be a part of something deeper. It allows you to look inside of it, to not be afraid of it, to not run away from it, but to see that it's for your benefit. Everything is for your benefit. Whatever you experience, whatever you're being reflected, it's for your benefit. But just change with it. Have grace towards it and have acceptance towards it so that you're able to receive it in this moment. And just feel as if you're summoning everything that you choose. To summon your finances, to summon the things in your life, the things that you choose, the things that you align with, the things that you want to carry. And really allowing yourself to be it, always, to never sway from it. And to see that every time that you do this, you're changing the narrative and the direction and the formlessness of it. Meaning that you're not assuming a position, that there's no position to assume, and there's nothing to assume. But it's just an inner knowing that you have about it. So just have that inner knowing in your tool belt. And know that if you know yourself in this moment, that you don't have to try to know yourself. That you don't have to try to be something, but you just resonate and radiate from that power. And if any moment you feel as if you're unstoppable, that means that the power vested in you knows oneself. That means you just keep going. You don't stop. You don't think about it. You don't try to do it. But you just are the example of that prophecy fully realized. You are that prophecy fully realized. If you choose to be it, then everything will change around it. And this is when you fully embrace the higher self, and this is also when you fully embrace the soul. So this is when you fully transverse into becoming the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom, which is God manifested in the human form. And forever, you are eternal. You are infinite in your nature. And you will radiate from the superpower of being fully conscious. And so it is. So, I hope you really enjoyed the meditation. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the meditation. Also, I'll be going live around 8 or 9 o'clock doing readings for people. So, and at the end of the day, if you didn't receive anything from this message, just allow yourself to embrace who you are in this moment. Embrace yourself, but also learn how to accumulate everything that you need. And knowing that if you just believe in yourself, if you have that much faith, that you will go many places and you won't have to try so hard or forcefully do it or try to schedule it, but everything will come in the divine timing of when it needs to be there. So just have allowance, just be yourself and be authentic, and just don't give a fuck anymore. I know it's very blunt, but it's very simple. Just don't give a fuck. Live your life, be awesome, and be aligned. So, thank you guys. Book private sessions if you would like to. This is White Wolf, and see you next time.